We all set goals. We all have goals we want to achieve either in the course of the year, by the end of the year, by the end of the week, be it career goals, be it habit goals, whatever goals, relationship goals, financial goals. We all set goals, especially at the beginning of the year. But more often than not, we don't achieve our goals. And today I want us to address why we don't achieve our goals. Now, I've been lucky to read several books from thought-provoking authors who have helped me with a lot of ideas around goal setting and why human beings sometimes set goals and don't achieve them, and why sometimes we do achieve our goals. Is it because we set too big goals? Is it because we set too small goals? Is it because we set the wrong goals, or what is it? So I'm going to borrow heavily from some amazing books and authors that I've read. The first book is going to be Goals by Brain Tracey. It's an amazing book. Get it and read it. So it's an amazing book on setting goals and achieving your goals. The second book that I'm going to derive some information from is Mini Habits by Fogg. It's also an amazing book on how to form habits around achieving goals and setting goals. And then the third book that I'm also going to derive some notes from is James Clear's Atomic Habits. So these three books are going to help us go through some three big ideas that I think are the reasons why we feel like we don't achieve our goals. So the first reason why I feel we don't achieve our goals is because more often than not, we focus on the extrinsic motivation rather than the intrinsic motivation. So what do I mean by extrinsic motivation and what do I mean by intrinsic motivation? Extrinsic motivation are those type of motivation that are outside our own control. Those are motivations that are outside of our bodies. While intrinsic motivation is actually the right opposite. Intrinsic motivation are motivation that are within you, that are inside you. So intrinsic motivation are motivations within, while extrinsic motivation are motivation outside. So, for example, the intrinsic motivation include the feeling of connection when you do something, the feeling of enjoyment for the sake of doing something, the feeling of relaxing, calm and happiness, and generally gaining an experience from doing something. Those are the intrinsic motivation that we gain when you do something. For instance, if you set a goal to achieve X, then the value you're going to get from the process you're going to go through to achieve X is what I call the intrinsic motivation, while the outcome of achieving X is what we call the extrinsic motivation. So extrinsic motivation is actually the reward, it's a reward-driven motivation. It involves the praise, the fame, the money, the car, and the luxury that comes with achieving a certain goal. Right now, you might be asking yourself that should you focus on intrinsic motivation or should you focus on extrinsic motivation? Well, psychological evidence on this is unequivocal. You need to focus on both. You need both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Now, extrinsic motivation is not bad of in itself. Having money goals, having car goals, having fame, goals of fame and praise is not bad. What psychologists also agree on is don't focus so much on the extrinsic motivation because the extrinsic reward is almost outside your control. You need to focus on both extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation because the extrinsic motivation is going to give you the drive and the urgency to go set your goals, while the intrinsic motivation is going to give you the willpower to continue going after your goals, especially those long-term goals. The second point on why we fail, we don't achieve our goals, and most of these books agree, is because we fail to enjoy the process of going after a particular goal. More often than not, our focus and our mindset is always on the trophy that we want to achieve rather than the process, the practice that goes on to achieving that trophy or that reward. Well, psychologists also agree that as far as achieving goals is concerned, you want to focus on the process more than the goal or the trophy. Reason being, it is the process that is going to get you to that particular trophy or goal. So goals are actually supposed to be guiding stars and not distance shows. So in this point, I want to emphasize the fact that you need to enjoy the process. Once you've set up your goal to achieve X within a given period of time, you want to come back to today and focus on what process should I do today to make me a step closer to achieving my X goal. Now that brings me to the final point on why we don't achieve our goal, and that is future versus present. So of course, you have set a goal and you are more focused on that goal. Your all mentality and focus and eyes are on that trophy. And we forget to be in the present because what you forget is that what you have is this present moment. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring next week or next month or next year. If you have a 5-year plan, a 5-year goal, what you have right now is this present moment that you are watching this particular video. And that is what you need to focus on. So once you have set that 6-month, 1-year, 2-year, 5-year goal, you want to ask yourself, what should I do right now at this present moment to take me a step closer? Or what should I do this week to take me a step closer to that goal that I have set for myself? And that is what is important. You need to focus more on the present than on the future. That is why you don't achieve our goals. We focus so much on that reward and we forget to focus on the process that leads us to that reward. While it is this process that is going to get us to that particular reward that we want. So shift your focus from the trophy, from the reward, to the process towards that reward. This goes to even losing weight. If you want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, then it's important that you make sure you go to the gym today, you eat right today, you take enough water today, you get enough rest today. This is the day, this is the moment. You're not going to lose 20 pounds after 3 months if you don't take action right now, today, at this moment. So those are the 3 big ideas as far as achieving our goals is concerned. Now I want you to always make sure that you put these things into practice. Always make sure you have both extrinsic and intrinsic reward or motivation. Enjoy the process, and of course focus on the current present moment. Finally, I want to leave you by telling you, happy people have projects. So, do you have a project? Do you have a goal?